left him in the squad car, I just started crying.
Somebody that, by virtue of a mental illness, by virtue of something that they have no control over.
The mental system in Iowa is not good.
The need is real and it's a consistent need.
We are criminalizing our mentally ill.
He just needs more help.
People who need mental health treatment in many parts of the country can't get it because of state laws called certificates of need. These laws require the government's permission to open any new treatment facility. They were supposed to control costs, but they failed to do that. Instead, they protect existing providers from competition, which drives up costs, lowers quality, and leaves people who need care without care. When a private company tried to open a new mental health hospital in Iowa, it was delayed for more than 2 years because existing providers convinced the state that there was no need.
I have a son who has autism, severe bipolar 1, mentally challenged. He may be schizophrenic also. He has a lot of disorders. He was doing well, but you could notice that something was going on. A lot of the psych units in the local hospitals have closed down. I took him to the ER 3 different times, and the third time the doctor pulled me over and said, "We can't do anything, so quit bringing him here." But they do call around to find out if there's a bed available. But the beds available are few and far between too. His behavior became worse, and I ended up calling law enforcement. They came over. He felt intimidated by the police, so he said he was going to behave himself. He was just giving them what they wanted to hear, but they left, and within a few minutes he attacked me.
When an assault takes place like that, the police come, they take him into custody. And it was apparent right from the start that he had mental health issues. Cops don't want to arrest someone given those factors. So I think he ended up in the hospital for a period of time.
He ended up getting arrested for assault and domestic violence. And it's all because he needed a medication change, basically.
There were no psychiatric beds available. The only thing we could do to keep him safe was to keep him in the Tama County Jail. We've sent a deputy up with someone that we think needs to be hospitalized, and usually it's a matter of the hospital not having beds, and so they turn us down. So then we've got this person in the back of the patrol car, and we have to bring him back.
We are, by all accounts and purposes, the largest mental health facility in Blackhawk County. That's with 3 hospitals here, but we are the largest mental health care facility in the county. And that's by and large because of the absence of any better solution. But we're still a county jail. If you are really having a psychotic episode, the best placement option I have for you is to put you in an 11-foot by 9-foot cell, lock you away, and keep you separate from everybody else for 23 hours a day. That's not mental health treatment. That's a county jail confinement. There's just X number of beds available. And it's such a finite resource that everybody's fighting for. If we're crisscrossing the state, one person can completely blow the budget of a small town county sheriff's office because you end up transporting them all over the place and attending to them a lot.
of Iowa has a need for more psychiatric beds. And I've worked at multiple ERs throughout the state, and the story doesn't change regardless of which ER I'm at or what part of the state I'm in. The need is real, and it's a consistent need. Well, families don't have really good options other than to take them to the emergency room. So all I can do is reassure them that we're doing the best that we can to get their child admitted. But it's very frustrating for families who just want to get their children help, get their loved ones help. They're very frustrated, they're scared. Maybe the person has stated that they're going to hurt themselves or hurt others, and they're just looking for some immediate help.
Before a hospital can be built, or before there can be a significant expansion of services offered. As I see the certificate of need process, that's what it is. You have to get permission from the board or commission. They're looking at requests, and based upon supposedly the facts, they make a decision whether it's really necessary.
I never anticipated when I was called to testify for certificate of need. I thought, this is a slam dunk. Anybody that says Iowa doesn't need more mental health beds, if that's truly what we're testifying to, this is a slam dunk because we need more beds everywhere in the system.
There was a move for a 65-bed facility. It wasn't in our backyard. It's a ways off. But if there's more beds that way, then that would free up some of the hospital beds closer here where I could send people up to Waterloo or Cedar Rapids.
After that first meeting, I realized that there were pictures of the state of mental health being portrayed that I didn't feel were accurate, but they were being portrayed by people who didn't know.
When the folks from the corporate entities of healthcare stand up and say, there's no problem, we have this well in hand. And those of us that are boots on the ground, in the mix, in the front lines, see daily, they don't have a handle on any of it. From the treatment at the ER that takes 4.5 to 8 hours, to placement that there is no place to put them, to, there's no handle on it all the way through that system. Not calling them a liar, but their perspective is far different than the practical perspective of functionally treating and dealing daily with the mentally ill.
I think the system's screwed up. When I think back to it, when he left him in the squad car, I just started crying. He can't help the way he is. He was born that way.